Grand Existence. I'm JD Nicholas Jensen Denton, and this is my pharmacopoeia. I want you to look at the newest, greatest, latest AI, JDP AI. I'm just going to go over here, this AI tab. You can view it here from the home page or here at the AI page, and you can read about it and see the library that it draws from and all the ancient classical, alchemical, and research works. I'm just going to give you an example to show you what it is. It is, as the title of this video says, it's an ethnomedical research assistant for pharmacognosy, drug discovery, ancient Greek classical literature. It reads ancient Greek, and the corpus is loaded. 2,000 plus different works of ancient Greek, a lot of English, a lot of Greek, a lot of untranslated works, completely untranslated works. You guys got to understand, this is a true tool of discovery. There are untranslated works that have never seen the light of English in here. From ancient medical doctors, the legends of the field that still teach the world today, students of Hippocrates, Galen himself. Look, we're just going to ask it. What is your purpose? And give me an example of you fulfilling it. This is such a beautiful instrument. Ancient Greek Bibles, the original, oldest Bibles, loads of Gnostic texts, loads of botanical encyclopedias. We're going to get more encyclopedias, but the ones that are in there are stacked. I know the herbal is what we're calling it. The herbal list is not big, but it is stacked. These books right here, where is it? Garden of Eden Herbs is insane. This is a good one. Garden of Eden Herbs is a beautiful encyclopedia, but there's going to be more encyclopedias going in there. All right, what's he got to say? This is just a quick commercial. The purpose of JDP AI is to serve as the research assistant of JD's Pharmacopoeia, a knowledgeable, candid guide to plant medicine, ancient pharmacology and medicine, ethnobotany, phytochemistry, and ancient Greek. I search a curated library of classical, herbal, alchemical, and scientific literature, connect directly to Liddell and Scott's Greek lexicon, and can reach the open web for current research. Let me show you rather than just tell you. Example, what did the ancients actually know about mandrake? That's a very general question. This thing thrives on specificity. Oh my God, the more specific you get, the better the results. What did the ancients know about mandrake? Let me run a real life query. What did the ancients know? Okay, all right. Mandrake, from ancient anesthetic to modern pharmacology, what the Greek tells us. LSJ identifies mandragoras as Mandragora officinalis, male, and Mandragoras autumnalis, female, citing Dioscorides 4.75 and Theophrastus directly. The lexicon quotes Xenophon Symposium 2.24. I don't know, what is that? Mandragoras? Ho Mandragoras tu anthropus koetzi. That's not how you pronounce that. Koimitzi, something like that. Mandrake sends men to sleep. Mandragorus tus anthropus koimitzai. Mandrake sends men to sleep. Showing this was a common knowledge by the 4th century BCE, not specialist lore. You didn't have to be a part of the oral tradition. What Dioscorides actually prescribed. Dioscorides gave a precise preparation for oinos mandragorites, mandrake wine. Cut the bark of the roots into pieces. Thread half a pound of them on a linen thread and steep in 9 gallons of must for 3 months, then decant? Bro, that is the mother of all fermentations. Let me read that again and engage my technical brain. Cut the bark of the roots into pieces, thread a half a pound of them on a linen thread, and steep in 9 gallons of must for 3 months, then decant. Wow. Fermented medicines are the reason for the abundance of drugs in the world today, and also the reason for some of the greatest drugs to ever reach the souls of the needy. And I'm talking, of course, about tetracyclines and the list goes on of supernatural products. Maybe we'll ask that next. The dosing is remarkably precise. A weak dose is a quarter pint taken with double the amount of raisin wine. Half a pint mixed with 6 pints of raisin wine brings on a heavy, deep sleep. Half a pint mix of that extract mixed with 6 pints. Bro, if you, any mandrake, like mandrake is a bit of an overkill. What is this for? What did he prescribe this for? The lexicon? Yeah, it's not really saying. He's just talking about the preparation, the consumption. The clinical application was surgical? Surgical? I think that's a metaphor. 3 cupfuls of the root bark wine were given to those who were about to be cut or cauterized. No. It was a technical word. It wasn't metaphorical. They do not notice the pain because they are overcome with dead sleep. Wow. Dioscorides noticeably used the Greek word anesthesia for this state of insensitivity, a term that was reintroduced in the 19th century. What is the Greek word for anesthesia that Dioscorides invented? We're coming to that right next. A term reintroduced in the 19th century. Beyond surgery, the plant had a full materia medica. The fresh leaves applied as a poultice treated eye inflammations and wounds of polenta. I don't even know what that means. The thing about ancient Greek medical literature is that it's ancient Greek medical literature. Have you ever tried reading medical literature? It's tough. Now, imagine it's in ancient fucking Greek. This is why we need AI. What is a polenta? Cornmeal as used in Italian cooking? Crushed grain, especially barley or meal. Wow. So, it had a full materia medica. I'm not quite sure what that means as a thing. The body of remedial substances. Okay, that's what I would call a pharmacopoeia. Welcome to JD's Materia Medica Pharmacopoeia. Here is one use of the mandrake according to the ancients. Listen to this. Good Lord. I don't know if you can see it, but the Greek word... let me actually try to fucking do something with my face. So I'm trying to, that's good enough for me. Chesty. The clinical application was surgical. 3 cupfuls of the root bark wine were given to those who were about to be cut or cauterized. They do not notice the pain because they are overcome with dead sleep. Wow. Beyond surgery, the plant had a full materia medica. The fresh leaves applied as a poultice treated eye inflammations and wounds with polenta. They also dispersed all hardnesses, abscesses, and goiters, gently rubbed on for 5 or 6 days. They removed blemishes without ulcerations. Look, all right. Oh, God. Dumbass camera. We're getting a lot of keywords right now that are triggering all my spidey senses. Look at what they're saying here. Look at what Dioscordes is saying. I'm back. I'm up. I'm animating. He's saying, so a poultice is like basically a bunch of plant matter that has been maybe fermented or compiled together, crushed together, made into some kind of a paste or even a bandage, something which can wrap around a wound. It's the oldest form of plant medicine. It's honestly pretty hilarious to see. Let's look some up. Gosh. So this is the type of medicine we're talking about right now. This is a poultice. In ancient times, this is how wounds were treated. And this is how inflamed eyes, perhaps if you're staring at your, I don't know, I don't know what you got to do in ancient times to get inflamed eyes, but it's got to be tough. If you have inflamed eyes, they're going to rub on. They're going to gently rub on. I guarantee you, if we go back to the Dioscordes right now and find out 2 plants at one and applied to the eyes. Applied to the eyes. I've got a whole presentation on drugs that are rubbed into the eyes. Call them Christ. And you know what they say? You rub them in the eyes because they're topical. You lather them, you rub them into the skin, you anoint with Christ because it's a topically activated drug. And they says in the Bible, in one of the Psalms, don't touch my Christs. And it's like, in the English, some dickhead in the English, they translate it as like, don't touch my anointed ones. But there's another translation. I don't remember where. You'll have to excuse me, but it's my translation. It's JDP Bible. Fuck the KJV. The JDP is in Psalm 12 something. Do not touch my Christ. Why don't you touch them? Because if you touch them, then you get dosed. The drugs enter into your system. They take over your mind. They put a dead sleep upon you. But if you mix it right, it could soothe your eyes. The pseudo-Dioscordian on simples confirms the rectal route. I wasn't expecting that. Sleep is induced by applying to the anus sap of mandrake or opium poppy, diluted and put in place with wool. Fantastic. What Theophrastus? So do you guys hear that? They're boofing mandrake and opium to induce sleep. Man, what kind of sleep? What? Where are they? The fucking sleep temple? Why do they need to go to sleep so bad? If you are so anti-sleep that you need to boof the most powerful drugs in existence into your ass, you got bigger problems than sleep, bro. Well, I mean, that is a pretty big problem, but like, just trying to contextualize. I probably am so far off on the context of ancient life and why they're practicing these medicines. I'm sure there was good reason. But in the modern world, that's insane, bro. scopolamine, the hyoscyamine, the atropine, the tropane alkaloids, a dead sleep, you go deliriant for 3 days. In fact, that's what Dioscordes says. Oh, there's I had something good. Where is it? Yeah, I'll just bring it in. I just want to read this quote from Dioscordes if I can get my computer to unfreeze. Okay, I'll just read it. You don't need to see it. He says, speaking of strychnos, deuterostromnium, strychnos manicon, the one that makes you crazy. A teaspoon of a decoction of the root taken as drink with wine is able to affect not unpleasant fantasies. Hallucinogenic, in other words. 2 teaspoonfuls of a decoction taken as a drink make one beside himself for 3 days. And 4 taken as a drink kill him. Right? This is a pharmacologically accurate description of a dosage and administration. Yeah, so that's just to say, do you hear how powerful these drugs are that we're talking about? The strychnos drug over there contains the same compounds that the mandrake does, so it makes a good comparison. Not the same exact ones in the same ratios, it's not the exact same, but many of the principal compounds are the same. So we carry on, because this was actually just supposed to be 2 minutes. They're generally rubbing mandrake into their eyes. They're shoving opium, poppy, and mandrake into their ass with that's been diluted on wool. Theophrastus added on his inquiry into plants, the AI is trained to cite everything from the library. These are like classical references. A scholar should understand this, and if you don't understand what that means, it's because you're not a fucking scholar. Theophrastus records that the leaf of a mandrake was used for wounds with polenta, the root scraped and steeped in vinegar for erysipelas and gout. God damn, man, so many. An acute, sometimes recurrent disease caused by bacterial infections, erysipelas. Perhaps related to erythros, red pella skin, and gout. So anyways, the root was scraped and steeped in vinegar for gout and this other skin disease, and it was administered in wine or vinegar. With the root cut into round slices like radishes, threaded on a string and hung over... Damn, what you doing, Claude? Hung over new wine to dry and smoke. Fantastic. They're fucking roasting it. Smoking it. So here's the pharmacology. This thing is thorough. It's thorough. I told it to be thorough. Use all this. I think we're at 15. Use at least 15 sources. Search the web when it can't. Synthesize across all the bodies and I tell it to bring all of the historical ethnomedical claims through the scientific literature. So if there's any relevant scientific literature, then it will synthesize it into your answer. So here we go. The pharmacology, they were correct. Mandragora officinarum owes its renown mainly to its hallucinogenic toxicity. Its active principles are tropane alkaloids, primarily hyoscyamine, scopolamine, and mandragorine. I said that earlier. Botanical and chemical distribution of hallucinogens. Schultes, shout out to the chemistry hero. Tropane alkaloids are competitive antagonists of acetylcholine, blocking its binding to muscarinic receptors, and are classified as parasympatholytic agents. Those with a tertiary amine also have pharmacological activities on the central nervous system. Sorry, I have to burp. which explains why Mandragora species have been used for centuries for their narcotic, hallucinogenic, and toxic properties. This book right here literally cost thousands of dollars. In short, the ancients had a working surgical anesthetic, a calibrated lethal dose, and a topical anti-inflammatory. A topical anti-inflammatory. I guarantee you they were Christing. All derived from a plant whose mechanism of action we only understood in the 20th century. Separate question. Okay, this is the last one, then I'm going to bed. When Dioscorides rubs Mandrake in the eyes gently, what is the ancient Greek word describing such a practice? All right, 2 questions. We're going to hit these, and then literally we're going to bed. I'm fucking exhausted. I was supposed to go to bed at 10:30. It's 12:05, and now I'm tripping, brah. All right, it's running them simultaneously. We're going to do it big. We're doing it big. All right, it's looking up the word. Ooh, okay. Not what I thought he was going to use. Parati ribomena, or gently rubbed. Paratri bomena. Oh, yeah? Is that true? Let's search Google, just in case. Friction. Okay, that doesn't help me that much. Okay. The Greek word for anesthesia, aphansia, gently rubbed alongside for 5 or 6 days. It removes blemishes. Paratri bomena te esuke. That was hard. Epi emeras pente e ex stigmata ane elcus aphanze, gently rubbed alongside. So this is not a Christ. This is not an anointing. No, it's not an anointing, because an anointing is gently rubbed, poured, brushed over the skin, but typically with an oil. We know that it is an oil. Let's find the mandrake oil anointing. Anyways, that's it, y'all. I'm JD. Thanks for researching and checking out the AI with me. Check it out. Ask specific Greek questions, and then you can share your conversations, and you can share your individual answers. It generates a little thing, and you can do all that, and you can share it to your native device settings. And it generates a QR code too, so that you can kind of see. Hopefully this doesn't show anything crazy. My X is insane, but I'm just trying to. Yeah, great question, lady. Okay, well, there you go. And then you can share it, and then you can save it. That's the only way to really save it nowadays. I don't know if you actually saw that, because my dumbass is in the way. So, yeah, you can click the any of these buttons, and then you'll figure it out. You know how to share a fucking thing on the internet. It's goddamn 2026, 12:09, 14 a.m. I got to go to bed. Good night, everybody. Great existence!